All right, and I am live. Good morning, everybody. It is August 28th, 2019. Good morning to all of you. 10:28 a.m. in the morning. Let me just get this thing up here. Hope I'm on the right channel here. Let's see, I got this Streamlabs. Ooh, the joys of Streamlabs. How you doing, Shamaz? So many people are finding out the joys of running Streamlabs now. Christina, how are you? Jinxie, how you doing, baby doll? Remy D. Nice. Hi, Allison. How are you? Good morning to you. RV Radio. How you doing, RV Radio? Jen, how you doing, sweetie? Vicky, how you doing, sweetheart? Nice to see you. Very nice to see Jen, one of my fave mods in here. Karina, good morning. Kitty, Marie Duffy, 6:29 p.m. here in Northern Ireland. I did my first live the other day. I used YouTube Live. StreamYards wasn't working. Hey, Johnny West. Yeah, having wonderful weather here. You know what, Remy? It's a time of a lot of change. Change comes very hard on the YouTube platform. I remember years ago when they changed the whole channel layout. Hi, Diane. How are you? And I remember how people had to deal with that. Hello, Shania Twang. Nice to see you. Joan Ann Smith, good morning to you. Nice to see you. I got some really bad news on my van that I'll go over today, and I just want to talk about the rewards of negative behavior on here, and also the van build and life, which kind of ties to that. Carla, good morning to you. DF Knock, good morning to you. I hate to miss anybody. LaDonna, good morning to you. Yeah, it is what it is, you know. Dealers screw up. And wait a couple more minutes for people to filter in. Good morning, Mouse Toes. Good afternoon, I should say. It's nice weather here right now. 90s every day. Yeah, I don't mind 90s at all. When it gets out of about 100. Vanessa, how you doing, sweetie? Good evening to you over in the great city of London. The great city of London. Glinda, how are you? Nice. This is 74 degrees Fahrenheit. We got that muggy humidity. Yeah, it makes it more uncomfortable for sure. I mean, I grew up on Chesapeake Bay. And Chesapeake Bay being a very shallow body of water, hey Jasmine, Mark Handler, as opposed to, say, Lake Michigan or one of the Great Lakes, it warms up very rapidly in summertime, and as a result, Baltimore is just like in a sauna for most of the summer. It's 93 in Dallas, Fort Worth. Hi, Kimberly. How are you? Yeah, you know Chesapeake Bay is. It's just like a bathtub, you know, except for dredging out the main channel that goes up to Baltimore Harbor. And of course, it's a very big port city and a city of industry. And apart from that, it's pretty shallow, and it just heats up. Oh, thank you, Nellen. How are you? Said looking flawless from Jersey. Yeah, I wish. Hello, Monique. Good morning, sweetheart. Nice to see you. My favorite gals. Kind of excited. Looks like Monique. It looks like Dee has a line on the van, so I'm hoping that comes good. Oh, you live on Chesapeake Boulevard. Funny. How you doing, Matronista? I'm excited about that. Good morning, Uber Goober. Yes, I'm very happy about. Looks like Dee's lining up to at least look at a van and consider it today, which I think is pretty cool. You really need a van. You definitely do. Oh, you talked to him this morning. Baltimore is humid. By October, it starts to get a little bit comfortable, but it's, you know, I grew up without air conditioning, and that was a different feather. That was very daunting. Oh, pardon my yawn. You know, we get the garbage man roll down the streets at 6:30 a.m. and he likes to drop those after he dumps the cans. You know, they lift them up they have this fork mechanism on the truck, and they lift it up and dump it over, and then he likes to do the 6-foot drop. Boom. And all you hear is cans dropping for about 20 minutes up the alley. 81, been an unusually cool August here. Yeah, lived in Houston. Saw a good deal on an older Class B. How you doing, Matt and Eric? Yeah, they slam him. This guy takes great pride in seeing how he must be having a contest with himself to see how far he can drop a can and still have it land without tipping over. And if it tips over, oh well. That's up to you. Chilling out, relaxing at the pool. There we go. Oh, outside of school. Nice to see you, Allie Pally. How you doing, sweetie? One of my favorite UK gals over there. Hope you're doing well. I'm pretty much versed. I've had a lot of people contact me about Streamlabs, asking me specific questions about it. The only thing, yeah, it's hard to believe it's almost September. The only thing I can tell you, if you're trying to conquer Streamlabs, a lot of people have used up the freebie on StreamYards, and they're looking to cut over. And of course, Streamlabs is a free program, but like I said, it's ridiculous. Good morning, Tasha. Tasha Teeling in the chat. Let's see, I need to finish my build and take a shower sometime. Yeah, I feel bad, honey, you being down in that heat and humidity and trying to do a van build. Well, let's look at it this way. You're probably oiling the wood with your sweat. Well, I shouldn't laugh, you know. I should be down there. You come in here to guilt me today, Tasha? Did you come in here to guilt me today? Hey Cheryl, how you doing, sweetie? Streamlabs only works with Windows, from what I understand. That's why I went to StreamYard. I think beyond 30 days, it's. I think they charge for it. I know it's miserable in Florida. I know that. I think particularly July and August, in September, July, August, and in September are very trying months in Florida from a humidity point of view. Now, y'all got some kind of hurricane or tropical Dion or Dino, or I'm not sure what the hell it is. Thank you, Allie. How you doing, Valerie? May through October. Yeah, I surf a lot of streams. So, yeah, she'll do it. If Tasha does it, she'll do it all good. She'll do it first class. She'll do it first rate. She's got skills. She's highly intelligent. How you doing, Jeremy? Nice to see you today. She's a very intelligent person. She'll get that thing knocked out. Measure twice, cut once. That's the deal. Hey, Pepper. Nice to see you. There's a hurricane heading straight to the Florida. Yeah, there's something. I don't know if it's a hurricane or a tropical storm Dorian. Okay. Yeah, they really got nailed in, where in the heck that is, one of those tropical islands down there. I'm not part of the van build community or van living people. Yeah, I'm a member of that on a very small scale. Is it a 3? Is it a category 3 hurricane? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. That's kind of bad news. Deal we typed in on that van. Yeah, I saw that, Matt and Eric. Yep, I sure did. Wow, it's a 3 already. Wait till it hits that warmer water as it gets towards the coast. Scottish, how are you? Barreling towards. Hey, Christy, good morning to you. Battling towards there, or barreling towards there. Not sure if true crime is my forte. Yeah, I don't do much in the crime community, probably because I live in the midst of it. So it's like every day is, every day there's cops whizzing around the hood here, as you guys know, helicopters flying. Anyway, starting off, Bean Sprout, be careful, honey. Okay, make sure to get all your awnings secured. Make sure all your crap is buttoned down, okay? Last time you had that slight accident leaving in the path of that last hurricane, so be careful, okay? That's my daughter, Pecan Baby. Nice to see you, honey. Bean Sprout's my daughter, so there's true crime. Madonna here. Grab some plywood. Yeah, I think Bean has a substantial rig, so I think that they'll be okay. When are you taking a trip to Hong Kong? I hope in the winter or spring. I don't want to get the, it's miserable over there in summertime. Miserable, and I had to wear a, being a British enclave at the time I worked there, you had to wear a suit, and you were supposed to wear wool suits. That was very interesting. Stiff upper lip and cheerio and hip hip and all that. Pip pip. Yeah, they got to help those people. I don't know. Poor Puerto Rico just can't seem to. I saw some people boarding planes. It was on the news last night. I'm getting the hell out of here. It's not so much the hurricane I'm afraid of. Okay, okay, D. So you got the van. All right. Well, there it is. Congratulations. I think you were checking it out today. I don't know if you got it. Maybe you checked it yesterday, but congratulations to you. How you doing, McFly? May your day be filled with shawarma, moonshine, and lollipops. Almost sounds like a sickening combination. We're serving shawarma and some moonshine on the side. For dessert, we're going to have lollipops. Okay, yeah. Make sure you RSVP to RSVP. Right, to my invitation for dinner. Yeah, good job, D. Very excited to hear that you got the van. Life is going to be easy. You can also put a rack on the back of that. You can potentially carry your bike too. So that's really good news. I want to thank everybody that was on the stream last night. Late stream, had a lot of fun on there. Yeah, we kind of get down and dirty on the McNamara channel. Had a real good time. So I want to thank you guys that were on that. Thank you, Prepper. Do you know that Joe Kane from Australia sent one to Missy and one to me? This is actually polished iron ore on here. And it's really nice. Hong Kong gets a lot of earthquakes? I don't think so. I think Taiwan does. 1990 Voyager, but well, the engine is strong and glides like a Cadillac. That's good. Yeah, it was a lot of fun last night. I had a really good time, and I want to thank you guys for being on with me. Yeah, our topics kind of vary, but we're generally always staying on the sexy side with that and having a good time. Hello, Queenie. Yeah, last night was a lot of fun. I experienced an earthquake in Taiwan, in Taipei, but I never experienced an earthquake. Good morning, Dawn. I never experienced a earthquake in Hong Kong. Came in to thumbs up and watch wish chat and wonderful Rosie a wonderful day. Thank you, friggin' frig. Hey, how you doing? Thank you, Nathan. Nice to see you. I was on stream and then I fell asleep on my phone. That's funny, Jeremy. Yeah, the old Rosie skin show, right? We gotta be who we gotta be. All right, let's get on to some really bad news on the van. You know, I took Little Rascal in yesterday. About 3 weeks ago, I ordered a replacement key for the van because, as you guys know, I lost my key in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Missy Jenn sent me FedEx another key out. I got back. Thank you, Joey D. Last night was fun. How you doing, Cindy Talks? Nice to see you. The key came in. I tried to program it into the vehicle myself. That was a fail. Okay, they've set it up now. So really, a dealer has to do it. Okay, not really much of a choice I had in it. I mean, I almost killed in my opinion, I did everything. I took everything I could to program that thing in. Didn't work. So I took it down. The key came, I was going away in Vegas, of course, and I came back, and yesterday was my first opportunity, and I called and set up an appointment for this morning. We dropped the van off. Well, while I was standing there at the desk, the service agent says, well, by the way, there's a recall on the vehicle, and it affects the fan, the cooling fan for the engine. And would you like to have that? Would you like to have that taken care of? And you know, any smart person's going to say, sure, you're just thinking about a fan, no big deal, you know, whatever you have to do, do it. Well, I get a call this morning, and the job of doing the recall on the fan, they had to remove the exhaust manifold. And somehow or another, the mechanic damaged the threads on the bolts to the point that, you know, it's useless now, the exhaust manifold, and it has 2 oxygen sensors in it. And he tells me the good news is that the exhaust manifold will be covered under your warranty, but the bad news is you're going to have to pay for 2 oxygen sensors, and they're $230 altogether. I'm like, what? What? And I said, well, look, let me see if I got this right. You're telling me your technician, your mechanic made a mistake, which results in me having to buy 2 new oxygen sensors, and you expect me to pay for it? Are you kidding me? Well, he's like, it would have happened to anybody that tried to do the job. I don't agree with that. I said, how can you be sure? And he said, well, he hemmed and hawed. And I said, well, I want to take it up with your service manager. So that's where we stand right now on that. I don't know how I'm going to be out of commission. You know, according to him, there's a small back order on the manifold, you know, blah, 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 bullshit. Now you got to worry. How you doing, Winky? Now you got to worry that the fucking thing is going to ever run right again, because when they start tearing into the engines and doing all that crap, you know, what a pain in the ass. Plus, I'm going to be out of action with a car, with a van. I don't have my van. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. All I wanted to do was get my key programmed, and they wanted to charge $130 for that. Well, I don't have a choice. But it just seems like these dealers, yeah, I've leased cars before. I've leased. I know they're 100% responsible. I know damn well that they are. Absolutely, I know that they're responsible. Hey, Mr. Dirty. In doing a recall repair on the fan, they damaged the exhaust manifold and the threads. And the result is it needs a new exhaust manifold, which he tells me is covered by warranty, but it's an extremely expensive item. It's a Fiat-made engine. And it has 2 oxygen sensors that I'm going to have to bite the bullet on for $230. I'm like, really? Really? I need to get a rental. I absolutely need a rental. You know, absolutely. This is their error on their, well, they have to pay for my rental car. I have no other vehicle. Yeah, there's a mileage restriction. I leased a 2012 Chevy Cruze, no problem at all. I think I negotiated. You can negotiate it. You know, they want to give you 12,000 miles a year, and I think I negotiated up to $18,000. Deal or no deal, they said deal. Yeah, Matronista, I'm like, whoa, man, whoa. So he'll probably come back with something from the service manager. But it's just nonsense, you know, and God knows how long my vehicle's going to be down there. I don't know how it's going to impact my travel plans to San Diego. I mean, it is Wednesday today. Monday's a holiday. It's Labor Day coming up. And that's Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, I'm going to be with the, I have other plans. And then Friday, I was planning on taking off for Southern California. So they already have a bad dealer. They already have a bad dealer rating. You know, they're like the worst of the worst of the worst. You gave up your driver's license in a car. Yeah, it's too expensive. Yeah, Monday, I believe, is Labor Day. Yeah, so I'm like, I did not need that phone call today. But that is the reality of the world we live in. And don't tell me, anybody would have done that, taken that off. I'm not really. It seems to me that it was definitely a mechanic error. And I said it's something. If it's a build issue, and if it would have happened to anybody, then Dodge should stand behind it, right? The Dodge Ram network should stand behind their build. Okay? Don't tell me it would have happened to anybody, because then you're talking about something that has to do with the build. What's the timeline? I don't even know. I don't even know. Good afternoon, Kiwana. How you doing, babe? Yeah, I don't think it was a manifold stud. It was some other issue. I think the clown dropped the manifold onto it and just, was trying to cover his ass. Yeah, that's not the issue. That's very easy. A stud is very easy to get at. I mean, that's not a big issue. Yeah, it's a bunch of BS. So I don't know what my situation is going to be. It's like just my luck. Then I'll get down to Southern California and the fan will fail because of their recall. I mean, it's just a joke. Yeah, I don't know. It just sucks. Leave the keyboard, please start all over. That's funny, McFly. That's funny. So I'm waiting for him to call me back on that. I just don't plan on. I don't have the money to throw into that when I just take down to spend $130 to get the key reprogrammed after paying $130 for the key. And now I got to do that. I got a lady a new 150 million Mercedes. Can you just turn that? Just click that thing off over there. Been to Savannah. Yeah, Savannah is a beautiful city. So that's the news on the van. I will keep you guys posted. It's very disappointing to me. He's talking about a small back order on it, and going to try to service it get it from another dealer. In the meantime, I'm definitely going to need a rental car, but I cannot take a rental car to San Diego and do my thing. I mean, it just really screws up. Hey, Tim, nice to see you, honey. Good to see you. They're messing with our chooching, so I don't know. It is what it is on there. So we'll see what the heck happens. Keeping an eye, Rosie, if they call with some BS, go down there and show them the Baltimore City girl. Yeah, I've pretty much gotten my way. Hey, yeah, man. I mean, you can't tell me that in any way, shape, or form that I should pay for this because of a mechanic error or a build defect. Okay. You can't tell me either one of them should be my responsibility for putting that back together. Okay? I mean, I talk very well, I'll talk very well and I'll talk nicely, but I will just pursue it up the line with Dodge to the regional service manager and right up the line. Right up the line. Yeah, no way. There's just no way that I should be liable for a recall item that results in collateral damage to the vehicle, oxygen sensors or anything. It's all on you guys, all right? And you're going to have to man up and do that. And you're going to have to give me a rental car too. Okay? I'm going to need a rental car too, all right? Yeah, for a free recall. I'm sorry I ever let these fucking clowns touch the vehicle when all is said and done. That's on me though. So yeah, I'll be tweeting about it. But I don't want all the trolls calling in and getting involved in that. Okay, I mean it's just like I'll work it out myself and get things straightened out. You can't wait till your husband finishes his truck. Yeah, well, they need if it's covered, if it's a warranty repair item, I need to have, and if it's a recall item, I need to have a car. Well, it is what it is, Christina. There's only 3 around the area here, so it's not like I'm owed a rental car for sure. you know. So we'll see what happens with this place. So it's very disappointing to me, and it's going to definitely ding my plans, and there's nothing that I can do about it. Okay. If I have a rental and I take it down to Southern California, I can't sleep in a car. Yeah, everything going to hell in a handbasket. Leave it to a car dealer to mess up a routine small recall. Good morning, Dagan. I guess nothing should surprise me anyway. 51 Dodge pickup skin over 98. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, telling me you're a YouTube celebrity, as if. Other than that, things are pretty, things have been chugging along pretty good. Um, but I might have to take a rental down there and, yeah, take your can to the shop, put them on blast. Yeah, really, so we'll see. I don't know how much dealers care about tweeting outs and all that kind of stuff. Some of them probably do, some of them don't. Oh, thank you, Dagan. We sure had a lot of fun last night on the Rosie McNamara channel. Thank you. It was a lot of fun last night. Hey, Shay, how are you? I always have a good time. Talking dirty, talking movies, classic movies, all kinds of dating on the boy, all that. It's a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens with that. I definitely need to have some wheels though. Okay, how you doing, Eddie? Oh, Sammy caught the dealer on dash cam pulling some BS. Well, there you go. I mean, they're always gonna pull BS on you. But this is a case where I can find no plausible reason that they shouldn't cover everything. If it needs new oxygen sensors and you telling me it was a defective issue with the build, then you need to cover everything. Dodge needs to cover everything Dodge Ram. Okay. I'm doing good, sweetie. Keeping my snoot clean, staying out of trouble as I always do. One of the prerogatives of being an old bat is that I stay clear a lot of. Yeah, you went to sleep hearing me sing "Love is a many splendored thing." La da dee dee da 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 da, la da da doo 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 doo, la da dee dee. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna wait for the call. If I'm not going to get all embroiled in a big knockdown drag out, I'm very adept at using small claims court. I don't think I'll have any kind of issue. If I need to recourse through there, you can get that. Get that taken care of pretty rapidly here. Oh, you have the most energy. Made me get my butt in gear. That's good. Let's move on to other things. So I will keep you guys posted on that. That was really, really. Oh, you still heard me in my mind, in your mind. Okay. Rewards of negative behavior. And I'm not talking about, I didn't watch the other. Missy Jenn was on Tucker's chat stream last night. I don't really get involved in that. I will just say if it ends up, and I saw the follow-on video from Tucker. I'm in the shop working. Missy Jenn's on the stream. She does her thing. I do mine. I got to make some headway around here. But I watched a little bit of it this morning, and I really hope, that the whole thing wasn't just a troll on Mallory when with the video, gotcha Mallory or whatever. Because evidently, and I wasn't there, evidently some people were hurt on that stream last night. You always hate to see collateral damage taking place. I just think if you want to go at somebody, go on a one-on-one, because putting that video out later, and I like Tucker, but I just speak my piece here, and I'm not saying anything outrageous. I'm just saying if it turns out that was just a trolling thing, then, I just have to say, I'm sorry that happened. Okay, and I'm going to leave it at that. But the rewards of negative behavior, I heard Drury. I was listening to some of Mallory's chat last night, and she had Drury on the end. And I always think Drury's always somebody that I enjoy listening to. he's pretty sage when it comes to he's pretty smart when it comes to things, and he's been here a very, very, very long time. Okay, thank you, Dr. Atomic, a fan and just a lurker and don't chat much. That's cool. When you run a YouTube channel, when you run a YouTube channel, you can go, and if you choose to be a content creator, and if you choose to really engage and you choose to be involved on current events and what's going on, you can be a positive channel or you can be a negative channel. Okay. And then if you put a financial overlay on top of that and you go negative, you start to get the consequences of that. And I'm particularly talking about Marshall down in Yuma. And I heard Drury mention that, you know, he's beat himself in the head, as have I, as has Mr. X, that you cannot expect that negative behavior, in other words, if you're going to engage your audience in a negative way and frame things as a troll, you know, like the movie 100, whatever. If you're going to frame it like that kind of battle, and you've kind of built your channel on, you're dependent on the trolls for your views, you're dependent on blocking trolls so that they have to create new channels and then unblocking trolls and then blocking. You cannot be surprised when the support just evaporates. You know, there comes a point, and that point could be now, where behavior does carry consequences. And I will say right up front that Marshall is a friend of mine, and friends try to talk to friends, and friends try to tell friends things. But as I've always said, you cannot force people to change, nor is it your job to make people change. And sometimes people inevitably have to be brought to a point where they see it's kind of a dead end on the road. Do I think Elvis is entertaining a lot of the time? I do. But this war with the trolls and you know, doing kooky shit on people's streams and stuff, it's all catches up once in a while. You know, it all catches up, not once in a while, it all inevitably catches up. And everybody says you get more honey, you get more bees with honey than with vinegar, and it's true. I never for the life of me understand channels that go negative. Okay, they just become negative channels, and they just engender a tremendous amount of trolls that come in, and it becomes a self-fulfilling thing. And you can imagine that you're winning because you're getting views and other things, but it's only turned into a troll channel. And you might think it's good for views and stuff like that, and that's fine, but it ain't good for money. It ain't good for money. Okay, it's like Drury said, you know, or somebody else said, you might get views, and you and I are on about the same par, except I'm at the disadvantage of being home now, where while you're dramatizing things on the desert of Yuma. But when it comes to support, and when it comes to the lucky way I feel about having such supportive people on my channel, despite the kooky shit I do, in spite of friends and other things, I consider myself very blessed. And yeah, I mean, you can go down. How you doing, Vegas Vixen? Hey, Nicholas. Hey, Michaela, you can go down the highway singing I Did It My Way, and remember what that song is all about. And remember the opening line. Anybody know what the opening line is of My Way? Anybody know? The first line? How you doing, VW? I just call you VW in here now. Do you know what the first line of that is? Yeah, what goes around? I want somebody to tell me what the first line of My Way is. Okay, somebody tell me. Come on, come on. Somebody tell me out there. Appease me. Yeah. Doesn't the first line be, and now the end is near? I mean, the whole song is like, the whole song is like flipping a finger to life. Okay, the end is near, and now I'm going to give you the final flip off and say, I did it my way. How you doing, Kit and Kat? I always get kind of discouraged when I think about what could have been, and I think Rory feels the same way. And I have a lot of affection for Marshall in a friendship way. I'll own that. Because I always envisioned a day where I'm going to be there when the big turn occurs, And yeah, it takes time to turn around an ocean liner and to get repositioned. But over time, and if you can't see it on YouTube, rewards flow from positive behavior and they flow from positive, actions and interactions. In other words, it might take 6 months. Maybe you have to get a job and hit the reset button. But I think combining entertainment with a new direction would have so many more positive outcomes. There's so many people that are living in vans and living in RVs. And I'm a quarter time at home, 3/4 time on the road, but they're getting a lot of support. Why? Because they bring the content. They're out there doing the choo-choos. They're out there taking you places that you wouldn't see, or maybe will never have a chance to see. Hey, Penny Pincher. Yeah, and now the end is near. I don't know how things are going to shake out. Somebody inevitably pops out. People have sent money in the name of, they don't want to send it directly. It's peanuts. For a van build, and it'll be refunded if it doesn't come to be. But they don't want to put it directly in his hand, and I understand that. Okay. In terms of goes the distance, but there comes a time, is the change going to come? Well, the change has its life. I can't do that. It does not mean that I don't be your friend, because I'll probably always be friends with Marshall, because I do care. Yeah, and I do think life dealt him a few shitty cards, and I'll say that. He would say the same thing about me too. I'm not saying anything here that I'm ashamed of today. I'm just speaking very honestly about things. There could be somebody else that steps up. I just don't know. Is it my intent to carry through with the van build? Of course it is. But it's my hope that, as you go along and walking in that 110 degree, 112 degree heat of Yuma, that the thought might strike you that the direction that you go, although it might be satisfying to you that you're doing it your way, it's not helping you accomplish your ultimate goal. Okay. That's all I'm going to say, Ted. That's all I'm going to say about that. I ain't nothing, Michaela. Kitten Cat will tell you I've made some of the stupidest decisions on YouTube over the last few years. But I own my loyalty. I own my friendship. When I have Marshall and we're doing our Great Lakes tour, we're bringing good content. Things are on a fairly positive bearing on a day-to-day basis. And I would have people tell me, oh man, I don't really see this side of Marshall. When Marshall's with Rosie, it's kind of like a different person. And it's really cool to see Marshall calm, and I don't care if somebody talks over me. That's not the worst thing in the world. Like I say, I'm an East Coaster. I'm used to that stuff. Big city East Coaster. And it gave people to see a side that's possible, and that was a good thing. I don't care if somebody, how you doing, Winky? So do you, honey. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. Yeah, we agreed to disagree, and we all move forward. I don't give a damn if somebody wears a dashiki. That doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me at all. But if you do care about somebody, if you genuinely do care in almost a family way about somebody, you go to tremendous lengths. And that's where I stand. I don't throw in the towel. You know, and I'm here to help, and every moment that I talk or we're there in person gives me a chance to once again give my talking point about life and the things that I feel, particularly on YouTube. Yeah, I don't mind the dashiki. I'm happy. I'm so happy that people celebrate their cultural heritage. I've got Kiwana's Kitchens here. Beautiful African American woman who does incredible things in a kitchen. I can tell by her thumbnail what she wears that she's proud of her African heritage. And I think that's a big part of what I really like about her. And I see other people come on here and they have Irish heritage and pride, and Harvey comes on and has Italian pride. And I need to have a little aside on that from yesterday, because I was listening to another chat that had a lot of misinformation on it, and I'll cover that off quickly. But that's not something I think that we denigrate people for. And you know what came along with Marshall was something very rarely seen. Roots of a Middle Eastern person that are born out of Iraq. And those roots, that pride, how you doing, Debbie Ariola? I'm not sure. I don't mind if people don't watch me if Elvis is on. That's really not the defining point of my channel. As much as people think that it's about views and things like that, it's doing the things that I like to do. And you know, Debbie, I love you. We've been friends for a long time, but people that don't like to see that have moved on by now. You know, they've unsubbed the channel. They're gone. And with all due respect, new people come in, and that's exactly what they want to see. That's exactly what they want to see. It's just the nature of YouTube. They don't know the backstories. They're not tied in. They're not vested in the likes and dislikes on here. Every day you can see it. Every day you can see it shifting. You know, I get the mail F you, you know, or the thread. If you ever mention him and again, I'm unsubbing. And it's people's right to do that. And I've always respected that. I've never, you know, as Kitten Cat would tell you, and Kitten Cat's pretty straight up talker and chatter on YouTube. I don't shy away from, I don't remove a comment. I think I've removed 2 comments in the last 10 days. And people rarely, if ever, get blocked out on the channel, because you got to have people express themselves one way or another, and the best way to do that is directly to your face. Now, over the long haul, it's the nature of YouTube. The channels grow. I mean, you could make mud pies and grow a channel on that, right? Fancy, creative mud pies and things. So when I saw, you guys got to remember, people. There's new people that think on, oh, Elvis latched on to me and I latched on to Elvis because it's some type of recent phenomena, or it's just about views. It's actually a couple people back in 2015 as a result of the Godfather's hangouts that came to know each other and started doing hangouts and became friends. And I went out to Chicago in 2015, trying for the first time as a friend to say, hey, look, it was called Elvis's Redemption Road. Things had gone bad at that time. He had the birdseed interview with Wanderlust Estates sitting on a barrel of birdseed in a Walmart aisle. And I thought, we get along pretty good. I'll take a crack at it too. And as a result of that first visit and paying it forward on the van, it's been over, it's been a 4-year journey. Okay, and he's followed my channel and I have followed his channel. But the thing that I'm talking about culturally is the name is what initially stuck out with me. His first channel name was Nomadic Assyrian Elvis Van Dweller. Now think about it. Dwell on that for a minute, that name. Nomadic Assyrian Van Dweller Elvis. Doesn't exactly roll off your tongue. But it was a hell of a name for a channel. And I could tell that there were two things that were he was very passionate about in that the Assyrian culture, which I had to go refresh myself. I think I had it in freshman world history in college or something like that. Assyria, I think. And I had to research it. And then I came to realize, yeah, it was like, what the hell? It was a hell of a channel. And I'd enjoy, you get booted off of Drury's panels and things. And we had, it was kind of humorous. It's somebody wants to be the show. But that cultural thing, and then you think about being Chaldean Christian in a sea of Islam there. And I could kind of see why he would take such tremendous pride in his Assyrian roots, being Christians in the midst of... Now, I'm not talking about Ashur, and I'm not going to get into the fact that he doesn't believe blah or uses guys. I'm just saying, on the face of it, there's something almost, dare I say, heroic about that. And when you're around Detroit and you're around Chicago, you see the bumper stickers, Save Chaldean Christians in Iraq. And the other thing was passionate about was the van life. And as he used to say, to not be beholden to the man. You don't hear much about the ham and egger thing anymore. But the van building, I think at his core he is Jordan Blue with his family. I remember seeing the happiest video when he put up the videos or pictures of his sister getting married in the Chaldean church, and how happy his family was and how he looked nice all dressed up and everything. But now, as Berg says, come up to present time. Come up to present time shows that there's a price to be paid if you want to live try to live a self-sufficient life. But if you come on YouTube and you use it as a platform, I think if we were to poll people, and I'm not one that does side chat polls, but if we were to poll people, they would generally say that positive engagement with your viewers is a better course of action, especially if you depend on them for your support, than a negative interaction with them. Because what happens is that people get forced, hey Beryl, people get forced underground and they feel a discomfort standing up. And things that are done make it very difficult to stand with somebody. And that's the tough part of it. But at the end of it all, there is a human being under there. And, you know, we're going to see how it all plays out. My guess is sometimes you get so backed up into a corner that they're the times that really change. When you're staring at fear, famine, financial stresses, sometimes they're the times that really affect change. McFly says, I think there are two Elvis, one who's nice around Rosa and the YouTube Elvis has a show. It is a show. It's a jackass show a lot of times. You know, and if you're deluding yourself if you think it's financially viable, or if you look at just things like views, YouTube is pushing things in a direction where I feel quite sure. I've seen it before about 5 years ago when YouTube changed their AdSense payout. Why in the hell do you think YouTube is pushing Patreon, Super Chat, and PayPal, and merchandising, and super members of chats? How you doing, Joey? Why do you think they're doing that? Because a couple good things come out of that. Think of it from YouTube's behavior. YouTube employs behavioral psychologists. And en masse, they want to affect change on a platform. We know what AdSense does. AdSense demonetized the Rosie O'Kelly channel. AdSense demonetized the Rosie Murphy channel. Why? Because they said, you know what? We need more mainstream content, less skin. Hey, that's their right to do so. You know, there wasn't a lot to fiddle with on the Murphy channel. I got that reorganized. That's all monetized again. But they affected a lot of changes. No more monetizing or partially monetizing gun videos. They sent out a thing this morning. I don't know how many of you got that are YouTube creators. Let me see this thing. They sent out this Gmail today, and it was called Policy Update: Important Changes AdSense Policy, and it says in September of 19th we're making big changes. Okay, so they're simplifying their guidelines. It just says the type of content we won't monetize: illegal content, child sexual and abuse material, pedophilia, sexually explicit content, adult themes and family content, intellectual property abuse, endangered or threatened species, dangerous or derogatory content, enabling dishonest behavior, misrepresentative content, malicious or unwanted software, and this is the one that's really killer, and mail order brides. Then they said then some will be restricted: sexual content, shocking content, explosives, guns, gun parts and related products, other weapons, tobacco, recreational drugs, alcohol sales and misuse, online gambling, prescription drugs, unapproved pharmaceutical and supplements. So they're simplifying the policy on here. Now that's from the pressure from advertisers that come on. Now, from a behavioral point of view, and if you can't see this coming, you got to be blind. Sometime in the next year or so, they're getting their ducks in a row where they're going to pull a lot of the AdSense revenue from you, and they're going to take it for themselves. It used to be, what did it used to be? 68-32. You got 68%, they got 32%. Now I think it's 62-38. You get 62%, they get 38% of that. Yeah, it comes down to the money, as my friend Rory says, money, money, money. They also know this subtlety too. Advertisers can't watch every platform their ad plays on. They play on millions of platforms, millions of channels. You can report Elvis to, tell advertisers, Elvis, whatever. Okay, they're not micromanaging their ads. Okay, they just do them certain ways. If the advertisers have the ability, how you doing, Joe King? Advertisers have the ability to say, I don't want to advertise on channels with less than 10,000 subscribers, 20,000. They can slice and dice it a million ways. Algorithms put cooking pots and pans and Sonoma Williams on channels that do cooking and things. You do cars, you're going to get O'Reilly, you're going to get Motorhead stuff. But I am quite convinced that YouTube is pretty soon, and Google, because YouTube's never made a dime on this platform. And maybe at Google headquarters, they've said, you know what, either make this thing a going concern or reduce our costs and liability dramatically. And I can tell what goes on in a boardroom. You don't want to carry something that's bleeding red ink that costs a lot in the way of server space and building new buildings and more servers and storing, frankly, more shit on computers. And I think that they have a long-range plan. And I'm sorry I'm not watching the side chat too much. And I'm quite sure that they have a long-range plan to make YouTube a profit center instead of a profit drag on Google Corporation. In other words, they're willing to be a loss leader for a certain number of years, but there's got to be a day when you step up to the plate. And I think stepping up to the plate will entail getting a larger chunk of the monetization that comes. A larger chunk. At least like a 50-50. They'll tell you, hey, this is fair, it's 50-50. That's going to be a big revenue swing for Google. But think about the behavioral point of view now. Since you can't get, bandwidth is a precious thing. Since you can't get the money flow that you used to get from AdSense, and this will be coming in my opinion, when you force people to go to PayPal, and you force people into the arms of Patreon, and you force people into the arms of PayPal and Super Chat, what you're actually doing is financially pushing those people to have favorable interactions with the audience. Let me say that again. When you depend more on Super Chat, PayPal, I'll add selling merchandise, Patreon, and super memberships, you're automatically, those behavioral psychologists know what they're doing. They're making sure that that shitty behavior and negative interactions is going to result in not much money. What a brilliant plan. What a brilliant plan to do that. Yeah, on a macroeconomic basis. I know what the hell YouTube is doing. I know what Google's doing. These are some of the smartest minds on planet Earth. And they employ behavioral psychologists. And they use one weapon that has been used through all eternity since people started exchanging goods and engaging in transactions. They appeal to the greatest aspect of capitalism was they make it be in your self-interest to toe the line. Okay, capitalism has a way of discarding dead wood and rewarding fresh wood. If you toe the line, you reap the rewards. If you don't toe the line, well, we see what you get. And I defy anybody to tell me that YouTube has any other different plan for the YouTube platform. They've also pushed off live hangouts. Okay, they don't want the responsibility anymore for what the hell you play on your hangouts. The music that you now freely play, and I can play things like the Baltimore Clippers fight song because I'm not monetized currently on this channel. So it's not affecting them. But if you're monetized and you're using that music on Streamlabs or StreamYards, don't fool yourself. The publishers, the Warner Music Groups, the Universal Music Groups, the Sonys, they know what's going on. They know that YouTube is now shifting liability for that onto those platforms. They're the ones now at risk for billions of dollars of settlements with entertainment companies. They're the ones that'll drop the hammer on channels that still insist on using other people's content, be it published music, copyrighted music, or other material for their own sources of entertainment. Thank you, Jack A. I think my explanation is it's a very good one. I think it makes sense. YouTube is a bunch of liberals? Yes, it's a liberal-based company. Not surprisingly in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, but it does not cloud the fact that Google is a publicly held corporation, and there's always the pressure on the bottom line to increase revenue and to increase earnings. There's no escaping that, whether you're a liberal or a conservative. Perform or get the hell out the door. Okay? YouTube just consumes more real estate every year, and buildings and storage and more overhead. People being hired to review channels now, review flag content. You know, there comes a point where they've got to lower their costs dramatically and their legal liability. And they put it on you now. They put it on Streamlabs. They put it on StreamYards. Yeah, you do your thing. You play what the hell you want. Okay, but if you think that publishing companies are going to just sit by, you know, they had YouTube by the nuts. Okay, and YouTube had to develop that whole system of content matching and all that. They don't have that on. You know, that's a pioneer. That's still in its infancy on a lot of things. Bro, do you think when Elvis gets to the Rancho, my first one is at work will be my back is acting up? I'm not even sure if he's going to get to the Rancho, Joe King. I still plan on, if he gets up here, to do a van restoration to the best of my ability with the limited means that'll be available. But it's the financial aspects of that are not my responsibility, and that's something that he's going to have to think about down there. Yeah, Google's like Skynet from the Terminator movie, just a friendly name. Yeah, they're friendly. You know, it's all good. That's it. I think I pretty much hit the nail on the head of what's coming down the line. And you can't blame some creators for doing Patreon, for having PayPal, and for having Super Chat, and for having super, memberships on channels and things like that. Because YouTube and Google are really the ones that are pushing that agenda to get you to be as self-sufficient as possible. So that you're almost like a little PBS station. We depend on support from viewers like you. You know? Now, I'm lucky when I go bring content, I enjoy the rewards of positive interactions with people. I like that. I mean, I don't know how some people can't see that treating people with respect and dignity, even you get trolled once in a while, big deal. I've done stupid shit. But I'm saying if you deal with people with respect and they like their content, your content, you'd be surprised the people that step up and participate. And hey, man, that was great. That was such a fun shoot. Here's $5. Get yourself a beer or whatever. That's very gratifying. But you have to be productive and you have to produce something on that. Simply a van flip to make a buck. Nothing sincere about helping this. That's your opinion, Darth Hosey. I don't think the van. I'd offered to buy the van as it is right now, Darth Hosey, and then go on your way, go back to Chicago, and build a life. Okay, nothing sincere to help this grown man better himself. I think I've done more to try to do that than you have, Darth Hosey. I'm pretty confident in that. I think my heart is in a better in a better place for people than yours will ever be. Because I don't think that you're a very deep level thinker. I think something rankles you and you don't bother getting to the roots of it. And therefore you'll never understand the real situation. Not everything is on such a surface level. Some things run very deep. But I welcome your opinion on here. I want to say a word about Juice too. Some misstatements on another chat yesterday. Number one, Juice has never been banned on my channel ever. Juice is come and gone. Sometimes I don't see Juice for a year at a time. But Juice has never been banned on my channel. Okay? Nor has Greg Campbell been banned on my channel. Proof of that is, go back and look at my hangout from Point Reyes Station. I had something like 380 people on that hangout that night. And one of them was Greg Campbell voicing his opinion on the side. We don't always get along. I've had my issues with Greg. But there's still a basic respect there. And I don't intend to block Greg Campbell from appearing on my chat. Nor will Juice be blocked. Because I care about what people do on my chat, and I care about the relationship that I've had with those people on my chat. And Juice and I have a very long-standing relationship. If your relationship with him got screwed up, also take a look from your point of view. Okay, think to yourself, is there anything that you could have done to misstep? It's not always all on Juice. Yeah, he says some outrageous shit. But at the end of the day, Juice has always been a friend to me. And if you can say that about somebody over 4 and 5 years, then good on you. It's not the kind of person that I'm going to chuck by the wayside. Never will. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm waiting for the call back from the dealership. I will update you guys on that as it comes in. These are just my thoughts about things in the community and in life, and particularly what I think YouTube's objective is and what Google's objective coming up in terms of grooming channels for independence apart from AdSense. And I think if you're building your future on AdSense, you're probably going to be disappointed, because it's like a bathtub full of water. You can have the faucet running to the tub, but the drain, when it's pulled out from the bottom, is probably going to drain that tub faster than you could fill it. And I think YouTube and Google are going to be draining that revenue, pulling that plug on the whole body of revenue coming in, advertising revenue, and taking more of that for themselves. Thank you, Winky. Good to see you. And I want to thank you all. Greg is in block. Greg's not blocked. Let's go into, let's pull up Greg Campbell. Let's call Darth Hosey on his crap here right now. Okay? Greg Campbell was in my chat on. When I discussed the Florida streaming house. Greg Campbell. As you can see on Greg Campbell's channel here, I don't know how they say it. It says block user on here. If I had Greg Campbell blocked, what would that say? It would say unblock user. Okay. There it is, Darth Rosie. I accept your apology, Carl. Okay. All right. That's the reality of things. All right, and there is your proof. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful day. I will keep you updated on the band things. And for the record, Carl, I like you, but let's be factual with our information. There's so much misinformation that floats around some of these places. There's so many people that are butthurt about things. And I would tell some of those people, examine some of your own behavior over time and some of the things that were done in back rooms and on green rooms. Probably my only big failing was never be a person that got involved with green rooms and all the bullshit that happens behind the scenes in hangouts. And I think over the long run that accrued to my benefit, not being involved in those cesspools. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being on. Nice to see you, Bully.